All right, so let's jump in. Tally, you want to walk us through some of the intros to Chat
Sure.
GPT?
So Chat GPT is a program that was created by a company that's called OpenAI. And what's awesome about Chat GPT is it actually understands human language and it responds like a person would. It can be used for lots of things, and we'll go into more details of how you can apply it, especially towards marketing. But talking to chat bots, it can help translate languages, finish sentences. It's conversational, which is really amazing. And we use this all the time at Bravo. I'm constantly asking like our leadership team and support people and just everybody, like, have you tried Chat GPT yet? And really the purpose of this, and we're going to continue to do more of these on different topics, is to sort of open your mind to the possibilities, because it's one of these things that as you get more into it and as you start writing the prompts and understanding how to write better prompts, the possibilities are endless, and it's going to save you like hundreds of hours of time in things that, one thing might take me an hour and I can do it in 10 minutes now. So we'll show you that, but that's a little bit about Chat GPT, and it's also free to use. There's a paid version for $20 a month. That's what I use, but most of my team, everybody uses it, the free version. So this is really low-hanging fruit to start implementing.
Yeah, and I'll just piggyback off of that. So for as much as Bravo does, I, as head of marketing, have a very lean marketing team. I have a fantastic art director, an incredible marketing manager, and then we work with one or two other part-time freelancers for very specific things. So we don't have this huge marketing team. And so I understand, for those of you who say we're not doing great, we don't have the time, maybe we don't have somebody who's dedicated to it. This actually allows you to either make or help the person who's in charge of your marketing be much more efficient and getting things done, or it's a really easy way for organizations who don't really have somebody who's owning your marketing to just start doing some tactical things. And you don't have to have any sort of knowledge. And it costs you nothing, because for the time being, it's free, as Tally said. And actually, my marketing manager is out for the next 6 weeks on maternity leave. So I'm using this a lot to continue the content creation that she normally owns, the social media posts. I also help my husband with his business and blog writing, and I know nothing about woodworking, which is what he does. So it's great. I'm not an expert in those areas, but I'm able to produce content for his website as well. So a lot of ways that you can use this for your pawn shop, but maybe even other things personally. All right, you want to talk through some of the use cases, Tally, for Chat GPT?
Yeah, so we're going to focus on content creation today, but there's also question answering. So instead of starting a search in Google, you might want to start the search in Chat GPT and see what comes back. It answers natural language questions, just exactly the same as you would ask in a search engine. So this can help you find information super quickly and easily, and it's really robust information. On the content creation side, blogs and articles, social posts, text messages, this is what we're going to focus on today, but it can generate human-like texts. It's also, if you want to write something with humor, you can ask it to write something in humor. From a serious perspective, I ask, like, from a CEO's perspective, what do you think about this? So you can really tailor it to who's writing it and who your audience is. Like I was mentioning before, it does language translation. So if you want to translate text from one language to another, you need to communicate with customers or partners in other countries, that you can do that. Personalization. So it can be used to provide personalized recommendations based on your user interests and preferences. So one example of this, I think, is I am taking my daughter on the Disney cruise. We're actually leaving today. And I asked it, I told it where we were going and for how long, and to create a packing list for me and my 5-year-old daughter. So you can use it for your own personal kinds of things. And then once it knows that, it can also, you can continue to ask it questions and it'll continue to make it personalized for you. And then conversational AI. And so this is where we really think there's a ton of potential for Bravo, and that's in building chatbots and virtual assistants that can understand your questions and provide really awesome responses. This is most often used in customer service and help desk, but we see the potential is being able to help train, onboard your new employees, teach them about Bravo, teach them about the pawn industry, all through a bot. And when we say a bot, it's not just a text bot. These bots can be your face and your voice, and it can look like it's interacting just like you are. So it doesn't have to feel impersonal. I think that's what is so amazing and also, crazy about it, is that sometimes you wouldn't even know that you're interacting with a bot. And it can be created just to basically mirror how you would respond to things.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to move on. We're actually going to see it in action. So give me a sec. I'm going to switch here. So this is the interface. Tally, can you confirm that you're seeing Chat GPT?
Yes, I can see it.
So first of all, to get Chat GPT, again, it's free. You're basically signing up with an account and an email address. And this is what the screen looks like. You can see it tells you all sorts of examples of things you can ask for, capabilities, and it's also pretty transparent about limitations, right? So sometimes I'll ask it questions to produce certain types of stats for me or data, and it will always remind me that it doesn't necessarily have access to real-time data. Or on occasion, it'll tell me it can't do something if my request is too complicated or too specific. But I wanted to show you some things that I put together before the webinar, just for the sake of time. But the things you're going to see right now are things that Chat GPT created for me in about 3 minutes. So these are my saved chats. So I had asked it, hey, are there unique ways that I can drive in-store traffic to my business? And these are the suggestions it gave me. So I just send that message. I basically wrote back to it and said, you know what, I like this idea to drive in-store traffic of hosting events. That's the one thing I want to focus on. So I said, can you give me some ideas for events that I can host? And then I thought, you'll see this I asked it to stop generating. I said, you know what, let's make it specific about a pawn shop. I want to know events that I could host at a pawn shop. Obviously, if you're a firearms retailer, you could ask that same thing. And it did. So I was having a conversation with the chatbot, and it gave me these list of events, right? So these sometimes could just be really helpful if you're somebody who feels like, man, I don't know where to start. I want something simple. And you could continue, I think, to be asking it more specifically, right? How could I promote my appraisal events? How could I talk about this online to get people to show up? The other chat that I had started here, and for those of you who have a website, you may want to be posting blogs out there or content to help drive organic traffic, or you want to be seen as a thought leader in your area and post things on social that aren't always about buying products. So you can see I put in here, write me a blog about the benefits of getting a loan from a pawn shop. And literally within 30 seconds, this is what it wrote. And it's pretty accurate. So you can copy this exactly as is, or many times what we'll do at Bravo is we take this and it's gotten us 80 to 90% of the way there, and then we'll modify what it's writing back to us if there are inaccuracies or we want to add some specific things. Tally, anything before I actually jump into live that you'd want to add about these, or?
I don't think so. Just, there's, as you continue to interact with it and it learns your voice and learns what you're looking for and the audience that you're trying to market to and who you are, it will continue to tailor these answers closer and closer to you. And it's funny, one of the things that I always tell our team, you guys are crushing it. And all of a sudden now when I ask Chat GPT something, it always puts crushing it in my responses. So it will start to adapt to things that you say, which is really awesome. But like Ko said, it really gets you 90% of the way there. It's more than a baseline. It's more than an outline. Yeah, it's super powerful. And you can also ask it for ideas and then take the ideas and ask it to elaborate on a specific idea. So you can really like continue to, like, I guess, go down the path of exactly what you're trying to communicate. And before Kathleen goes into like live, and you all can, if you want us to post in questions or things that you want us to try, we can do that. Kathleen and I hosted a offsite for our onboarding, Bravo's onboarding and implementation, a deep dive on how we can do it better. And we spent a lot of time in Chat GPT, like what are the KPIs that we should be tracking? What are objectives for onboarding and implementation of software? What are, some of the best software companies that do implementation, like what are they doing? And we really modeled the entire agenda, which would have taken me in the past like 8 hours. I was able to create an agenda in probably an hour with all of the slides and all of the text, and a really clear outline of like what we should discuss, so that you don't spend, all of the time researching, like what should this kind of event look like? What kinds of things should we be talking about? And you're researching and you're reading and you're compiling, and it just takes a long time. So we were able to create this like really awesome agenda with really awesome content that everybody was really excited about without wasting time getting to like what was important for these 2 days that we spent together.
Yep. I know. I think it makes it really easy. I know a couple of you put on the poll that you're not doing really any sort of marketing because you don't have the time. My advice is like, just start somewhere. Say, you know what, we're going to do one social post a week and one blog a month. Literally with Chat GPT, you can have your entire summer's worth of text messages and social media done for you. And you just plug that in and say, every Tuesday, we're going to do this, or every time we have a sale, we're going to do this. So just start somewhere, and this makes it really easy. And you don't have to, expand your team and take on that overhead if you're not prepared to do that. So let's take a look then. Oh, one other thing I did want to mention as we look at these, I had typed in, I had asked Chat GPT for some thoughts around Lightspeed's decision to no longer support FFLs. I'm sure most of you know that they've pulled out of that market. My point of view is that the article that came back was highly, highly editorialized and very biased. So I gave it a thumbs down, and it asked me why, and I shared that feedback. It regenerated another post that had taken my feedback in. So, obviously you can be putting in your own feedback around whether or not you thought this was useful, you think it's accurate, you can give examples why, and it's learning from that. So just another way that you can personalize your experience on Chat GPT. But let's go ahead and does anybody have, you can put a yes in the chat. Tyler, if you wouldn't mind watching that. Does anybody have like Mother's Day sales that are coming up at your retail store that you want to be promoting? There's a yes. Okay.
Yes, we got a yes.
So let's go ahead and say, write me 3 social posts. Actually, let's say 3 funny. How about that? We'll say 3 funny social posts about a Mother's Day sale at my store. And you can see how quickly this is generating it for you. So, and then it saves it over here for you. So you can always keep that. Now you can literally copy and paste these, and you have what you need for Facebook to go ahead and say, we've got 3 posts already written for us, and schedule them out. I see Tally, can you take a look at chat? Looks like there may be, I don't know if there's comments or if we want other ideas.
There was a yes, and then there was a not yet. That's why I'm here about Mother's Day. So,
oh, awesome. Okay. Any other ideas that you guys, I mean, we can put a whole bunch of stuff in here. Tally, any ideas?
maybe let's do a like write a text message for a Mother's Day sale with a promotion in it or something like that.
Okay.
For a retail store.
Okay, write a text message for Mother's Day promotion at a retail store. There you go. There's your text message. Let's see if we can say, sorry, make it, how about we say, make it humorous? Make it funny.
Another thing you could do is make it shorter,
Oh, okay, let's do that.
because that's a big text message.
That is a big text message. Okay. All right, so don't judge me if you guys start seeing some of these like hilarious texts. You're gonna think I'm so funny, but really it's just Chat GPT with a sense of humor. All right, so for those of you who maybe haven't used this before, I just want to do a quick pulse check in the chat. Is this surprising to you at how easy it is to use, how responsive it is, how quick it is? Any comments so far in chat? You can put a yes if this is useful, yes if it's surprising. And I'm not looking at chat right now, but
We got some yeses.
okay, good, good. All right, anything else that you guys want us to put in there, whether it's blog posts, any sort of marketing ideas do you want us to challenge it with other types of promotions, text messages, anything like that?
Do you all have a blog? Do you want us to show you what it's like to do a blog post? Sherry says, what about unique content? Are we getting the same type of texts and posts? Sherry, can you elaborate on that? Yeah, let's do a blog post.
Okay. Do you have any ideas for an actual blog post that you'd want for your shop? It could be for your types of buyers. For example, if there's a certain type of merchandise.
Maybe we could do a post on like 5 ways you can use a pawn shop.
Was there something new put in the chat there?
Sherry said, if we're all doing MD, how are we all getting the same things to post? How unique is it to our stores? So it's gonna create and generate something different for Mother's Day, she said. If we're all doing Mother's Day, how is it gonna be unique, basically? So the uniqueness is in the prompt, and the more you use ChatGPT, the more you will learn how to prompt it to create unique responses. So in mine, I always talk, like whenever I'm doing something for Bravo or for employees, let's just say, I'll give it background on myself. I'm the CEO of a point of sale SaaS company. I'm sending a message to my employees about the beginning of May, trying to make them excited, thanking them for an amazing April. And we accomplished these 3 things. Write me a Slack post. So that's an example that you could like, you can really like tell it who you are, what you're trying to do, who your audience is. And then you can include some things that are unique. So like 3 of our key results from April that we hit would be part of this post that I want to share about moving into May. So they're all unique. You can make them very unique to your stores. If you don't want to make them unique from the start, you can ask it for like, it says retail store name here, and you could really like have it block out the things that you want to fill in for your particular store. So we could compare results. We could definitely do that. It's interesting, like, Steve My dad uses Chat GPT all the time too, and we'll put in the same exact question, same prompt, different responses. So it's really different based on how you use it. The more it knows about you, the more it knows your voice, the way you ask things. So
Yeah, and I think I'm putting in really general prompts. Write me a text message about this.
Yeah.
To Tally's point, we could say, I'm a pawn shop. I'm running, let's say, I'm running a jewelry sale. Oh, sorry. For 20% off for Mother's Day. I'm in, where is Sherry? Where's your store located? Let's see if it brings in any specific.
Texas.
Okay. I'm in Texas. Write me a social media post. How about we say this, directed at men? So you can see that, right, it's even going to give you like different hashtags and things like that. So to Tally's point, the more specific you are, it's going to consume all of that. Was that helpful, Sherry? And at least saying how you can make it more personal?
While she's responding, let's yeah, she said yes, thank
Okay,
you.
cool.
Let's do a blog post, 5 reasons to come into a pawn shop in 2023.
Okay, and then we'll do some for firearms retailers too.
Okay, that sounds good. And then maybe write a 250 word blog. Okay, so this is an example. It depends on what you're trying to do in your blog and whether you're trying to educate or promote something or share a particular product that you are loaning the most on or anything like that. I will just say, like, the more specific you can be in the length that you want it. If there's any SEO or keywords that you want it to use in the blog, you can put that in there, like use these words in this blog. And you can have it do it again. So if you don't like the initial post, you can just within this message, you can say, write me the same thing, but different, you know? So you can do it multiple times. And sometimes I'll do it multiple times and then I'll take my favorite parts from each.
Mm-hmm. We could say, write me a blog about the benefits of, what we say, buying pre-owned goods. How about we say about the benefits of buying pre-owned goods? Why don't we say, should we say direct it at, or write it for Gen Z?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And now I didn't limit it, so this might go on and on. But even these types of things where it's giving you right, a number of benefits, you could literally say, you know what, I want to do one, I want to, for the entire month of June, kind of try to attract Gen Z in because they're really hot on sustainable goods, right? Pre-owned is great for that. So I'm going to pick one piece out of this, the uniqueness of pre-owned. And you could go back and say, write me a whole blog about, you know, how purchasing pre-owned goods is the most cost-effective way for Gen Z, right? Now you have an entire blog post about that. Why is it better for the environment? You'd have an entire blog post about that. So it'd be really easy to generate 4 or 5 pieces of content in a matter of minutes to be putting on your website for SEO, which helps with, as people are randomly searching and looking for places, or, again, to be putting it on your social media channels to try to drive awareness and interest in your products and your stores. Tally, is there anything new in the chat or any suggestions? I just see some bubbles coming
No,
in.
Frank put one of his responses. So I think that he just dropped in, copy and pasted one of his, so you can see how it's different but the same. I know that we're at time. Thanks, Greg, for being here. We are going to continue this series with different types of topics. So we're going to do one on how you can use this in your human resources or hiring or retaining. I think we might have one more poll for you to do. So if you can let us know which topic you want the most next, we will do that. And Kathleen and I love talking about this. I really think that this is just the best thing to happen to small businesses that need help and don't have the resources or time to get to things. The faster you can adopt it, the more ahead of things you're going to be. And let us know how we did, and we'll continue the convo.
Yeah, and I would say for those of you who maybe said you're struggling with marketing, I get that. I have a long history of coming and helping companies kind of start somewhere. So you can feel free to reach out to me, Kathleen at Bravo Store Systems, if you just want to look at how easy it could be for us to put together a 60-day marketing calendar for you and how you could use Chat GPT to get everything created. I'd be happy to be a resource for you in that way too. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I love what I'm seeing that we have 4 and 5 stars. Also, the suggestions for the next Chat GPT webinar series topic is fantastic. So thank you so much. Thanks, Tally, for being here. Hope you guys learned a lot. Have a great day.